Yeah, welcome to this edition of Spotlight, Cloudera's Partners Perspective, where you can watch and listen to our conversations with our closest partner in our channel and alliance ecosystem. I'm Peter Nikles, Director of Channel and Alliances for the Central and Eastern Europe region. And today I'm speaking with Clement Yunes, Global Head of Business Development and for AI and Analytics at Atos. Welcome, Clement.
Thank you, Peter. Nice to be there.
Excellent. So can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your organization at Atos?
Sure. So I've been working for Atos for about a bit more than 20 years, actually. So it starts to become a long way, actually. But I did many different jobs, which means that it's much like I've been working for different companies. And so far what we're doing more specifically, and there's been a very strong reorganization recently, and we have been reorganized around verticals, industries. Industries are leading our business now. And in my organizations, we are actually the products part of this entire organization. So we are selling products to our industries so that we deliver value to our customers. So this is what we're doing, and we are actually a large global systems integrator, more than 100,000 people covering, let's say, 72 countries around the world with a global footprint in many industries, actually.
Okay, interesting. Very much. Thank you very much, Clement. So let's talk about partnerships. So what makes for you a good partnership working together?
Well, there's no one answer to this question, but I see different things that are necessary to make it work. I'm not saying it's sufficient, but it's necessary. First things first, there must be, I think, strategic fit between our organizations. We need obviously to make it, that needs to make sense. We need to make sure that our value propositions is compelling, and this is for sure prerequisites. Now, we've got other things. We need to promote a collaborative environment, collaborative behavior between teams. So we need to make sure that the teams are, both teams actually, are onboarded the right way. Commercially, the messaging is promoted within both organizations so that all teams are aware of the other's offerings. And also the teams need to be supported on the field. So this is really the operational side of things. And another thing that I see, and this is really important, I believe, and even more, this is all about human relationships, right? So what we need to make sure, I think, is that there are connections throughout all the levels of the organizations, right? So not only operational, not only commercial, but also at senior management level. Because if you don't have that, when there's a need of additional support, and it happens actually, you would not have the right, let's say, escalation level in place. So that's really key to me, and this is what we're trying to do. And we have the chance to have between Atos and Cloudera this high level of, let's say, connection. So that's one thing. Another thing that I can add to that is how do you measure actually the success of a partnership? How do you make sure that it is successful? Because there's no easy answer to that. Thanks for asking this question. But to me, this is really also very important, I believe. You can have many KPIs in place to measure, the revenue, the growth, how many certified people you've got, and so on and so forth. That for sure is needed. But there's one KPI that I like actually. This is, let's say, a very simple. This is what I would call the good to bad ratio, right? for every negative thing is happening, and that happens, you have to have 5 positive things, 5, to entertain and to make it lively and committed and get the engagement. So that's the good to bad ratio. This is, to me, if there's one thing, this is the good to bad ratio, 1 to 5.
Okay, good. So let's go into a bit more depth. So talking about what do you think, what opportunities do you think it brings to partner together?
Well, we've got plenty, I would say. We're in the right, let's say, domain. If you take the, let's say, the mega trends, you've got for sure the massive growth of data. You've got the cloud computing. You've got the distributed everything. These are some, let's say, big trends that we see in the market. If you narrow it down a little bit regarding the growth of data, I'm not talking about small data, which is too much of a niche at this point. But if you talk about move to the cloud, what we see is hybrid and multi-cloud getting higher and higher. And, well, talking about multi-cloud, I'm not saying it's about, organizations that are, let's say, that are going to connect and secure their, let's say, public infrastructure between each others. It would be, connecting your infrastructure on Amazon to your infrastructure on Google or on Azure. That would be too much and too complex. And I don't think this is going to this direction. Rather, what I see, and that would trigger some opportunities for us, I think. This is more, I think, 2 use cases. One would be to create a link between your on-premise infrastructure and a public cloud for use cases such as, building or providing backup or disaster recoveries capacities, or maybe modernizing your legacy, or maybe adding extra computing capacities for periods of times of peak usage. So this is one use case that I see, and there's another one which is more related to the distributed everything thing. This is the end-to-end solutions that encompass the edge computing part of things, right? There is, and this is where actually both of our organizations are strong, but this is something that I believe is going to trigger opportunities in terms of unifying seamless, development or operation environment or secure environments, seamless around and across the value chain, or maybe common analytics across the value chain. So all these things that actually make use of the entire chain around distributed. So that's the types of opportunity that I see and where we are strong. If you dig a little bit further into the machine learning and AI side of things, what we see in the market from our customers, this is actually that you have more and more indeed AI projects or machine learning projects that are going on. That is for sure. But still, what we see is that not many make it to production, right? And probably this is because, I know maybe you've got another view of that, but this is because it takes too much time for data scientists to, let's say, deploy their models. And we have figures around, let's say, from 10 days to 90 days. That's way too much. And this is where jointly with our solutions, we can support, operationalizing ML and AI. So these are the types of opportunities that our partnership brings. We've got many others, like in cybersecurity. We have to secure all these things. And we know that in terms of governance and security, Cloudera is strong. Atos is one of the leaders in terms of security and cybersecurity. So those types of things, and ethical AI, explainability of things, those are the things that are going to be very, very strong, and that are, in my views, opportunities to both our organizations.
Okay, that's a few very good points. Thanks, Clement. Now let's go to another topic, which is a bit more a side topic, I would say. Now we're working more and more in a virtual theme, right? Than face to face due to the pandemic situation. How do you manage this challenge within your organization, and what are you doing to make sure your key people are still motivated? Because it can be quite frustrating just sitting in a home office all day and not getting out. So what are you doing?
Well, I think everybody is in the same situation. There's no real answer, and we're all humans. So it all depends on the way we behave and our own character, right? So for sure, our organization, Atos, has been doing lots of things and triggering lots of initiatives around, virtual coffees, like having social meetings over the internet and so on. But honestly, this is not the same as face to face, right? So what we're trying to do, and now we're happy that the pandemic is, I'm not saying coming to an end, but it's getting better for sure. So we have more opportunities to, let's say, meet face to face. But for sure, what we're trying to do is each and every time we have the opportunity to meet someone face to face, we take it. And sometimes, well, we have to admit that in large organizations like in my own, it's not easy to travel when there's no customer facing meeting. I mean, this has a cost, right? So we have to be a bit more creative, finding out some, let's say, pretext or reasons, and good reasons, to meet internally our people, because this is really key. So this is one thing. Take every opportunity to meet face to face. Well, another thing that, and it's more about the challenge that it creates, I think, than the solution. The challenge that I see is that now that we are used to working from home, maybe it's linked to our sedentary nature as human, but it's a fact that, to me at least, that we are getting more and more reluctant to move out to the office and spend hours in traffic jams or in the subway or whatever. So for sure, we are more reluctant to move, and we have to kick ourselves in the ass to say, no, I have to move. That's one thing, because otherwise I will miss my point. I will miss things, and things are going to be outside me. So that's another thing, that is, just kick yourself in the ass and say, no, I have to go. And even though my sedentary nature says, no, why are you moving? So that's really, to me, that's part of the challenge.
No, I think that's a very valid point, because after so much time, you certainly get to a kind of comfort zone. And it's, as you say, it's really, you have to kick your ass sometimes to really be getting out and making sure that and that's the other point, being creative in how to approach customers and in what you're doing there. So that's a good point. So my next question is going rather towards, AI and analytics. So companies are more and more adapting on AI and data and analytics. How do you see the potential for partners in those areas?
Well, from a business perspective, I would see the channel part is very important. So there is obviously the channel. The fact that working together with customers daily, our organizations, we at Atos, receive lots of valuable feedback on how they use analytics, how they use ML, what types of business challenge they're solving with their machine learning, and how they could let's say, improve their deployment cycles to, let's say, leverage it more and more. So that's one thing. And on your side, on Cloudera side, for sure, you're doing the same. So you are discussing with customers, listen to customers, and have your own, let's say, views. So that's one thing is sharing things, sharing the feedback that we receive, both organizations on those projects, opens new opportunities, and it's a new channel for us to go with you, and it's a new channel for you to go with us. So that's one thing. So that's the business perspective, I think. Now, you can have thousands of channels, but if you don't have content or valuable content to, let's say, broadcast or deliver, then it will lead nowhere. You would not have any audience, right? So, which is why moving to the, let's say, solution perspective or product perspective, what you have to offer to this, to your customer through the channels. And this is, to me, this is the solutioning, and this is where our partnership is really interesting. Cloudera, from our perspective, brings the software platform. So that's one thing, and a very solid platform. And on our side, let's say Atos takes care of all the rest, the glue around that, and also the infrastructure, because we have unique solutions to push in the market with our Codex engine, kind of a turnkey solution. So this is the things that the packaging that we can provide to our customers. So that's business perspective. There's a solutioning, and there's also we talked about that the I would say the creative tension that it brings. Having different views. And I remember of a phrase. I don't know who said that. I forgot. Let's say, what's the phrase? I forgot. Can you help me? No, it's about politeness is the poison of collaboration, right? So that's, to me, something that is, we have to, let's say, tell things to each other, right? Around how it works, how it doesn't work. And that creates the type of tension that opens, let's say, new opportunities. And I've got examples. I don't know if you.
No, but you are talking about the glue, and I think it's a very good point to come to the appliance you can offer, which is a combination of our platform within your hardware, all as one. It's really absolutely great for every customer. So that's certainly something very good advantage you can offer to the market. And it gives a huge potential in my eyes to the market.
Absolutely, around the hybrid, and yes, indeed.
So now let me switch a little bit to the competition. How you see that? Now there are obviously quite some good competitors, more and more. There are some new kids on the block, as I call it, when it comes to big data and analytics, right? So where do you see Cloudera's position and advantages compared to others? Like, as I said, the new kids on the block, not so mature maybe. So how do you see that?
Well, if I analyze the assets of Cloudera, I think there's one that is obvious, which is the customer base, right? Cloudera has a great customer base. And the good news is that most of these customers are also Atos customers. So for sure, this has value, a lot of value to the two of us, right? The customer base, you've got a solid solution for this customer base, which leverages the trends around hybrid, around multi-clouds, which is going to be given for granted. I mean, it's going to be the way to go, right? We know that. That's a solid solution. There's something that I see that others do not have. This is the strong commitment of Cloudera on open source, right? And we see a lot of customers that are asking for the possibility to do some reverse engineering of their solution to make sure that they keep control of their solution. And this is your DNA, actually, open source, and we like that. Those are things that I see. There's lots of other things. It's a global company. You're a global company with two global companies. So we are able to deliver in many markets, many geographies together, not only on a specific market, right? So this is really a strong, these are strong assets, I think, that provide lots of value to customers.
Now, I'm glad to hear that you see our hybrid cloud story and strategy, which is really key for us. And I think the market recognizes that it's a huge advantage. So it's good to see that you see that as well. Thanks for that. What joint Atos Cloudera solution do you feel is most successful and provides the most opportunity for the digital transformation? I think we talked about the appliance. Maybe that's one thing. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Yeah. First, I can say that we've been partners for, let's say, more than 10 years now. So for sure, and I think we've been partners for since 2011. That's what I checked, actually. And so 3 years after the birth of Cloudera, which is an early partner. So for sure, as a global systems integrator, we've been doing tens of projects together, right? In many different industries, delivering our services to customers outside our OEM. There is the DNA of Atos, which is a global systems integrator, delivering end-to-end services, right? So in many industries, like in very innovative sometimes services, like in banking with Customer 360 or fraud management, we've done that, and we've had lots of nice successes recently together on that. In utilities, for instance, working together to improve wastewater treatment, reduce electricity consumption, and reduce pollution. So very innovative use cases doing together. Lots of other industries, even cybersecurity solutions that are our own solutions that are relying on Cloudera technologies. So we've been doing lots of successful things together on sometimes very innovative projects. And as you said, we're quite unique with our OEM side of things, with our Codex engine. And thanks for mentioning that. This is indeed a solution that combines our hardware, Bull Sequana, that is actually quite successful per se. We're providing, for instance, our solutions to Google for their bare metal as a service offering. So this is really big. Your software platform, which we like because you are providing the entire support, commercial support, SLA that our customers request and require. It's really solid for that. And our services on top to deliver end-to-end solutions to customers. And we had a recent win. We're happy with that in Belgium together for a public sector organization that was actually willing to move to the cloud, but could not do that for some, security reasons and privacy reasons, compliance. Mm-hmm. So it's good that we had this solution to say, hey, you can move to the cloud, but together with Cloudera and with our Codex engine, we are we can support your move to the cloud with a step-by-step or more progressive approach.
Yeah, it's a kind of a modular approach, right, which gives the flexibility to the customer to move when he wants to.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really key. And I'm sure there is more. We'll have more successes on that side. looking at the opportunities we have jointly. So that's good. So now looking a little bit into the crystal ball, can you tell us a bit more about where do you see our partnership going into the future?
Let me think. No, really, I don't know, but for sure, the way I'd like it to go is what I said is around hybrids, connecting, creating links between on-premise infrastructures and public cloud. So I think we're going to have more and more of that in the future, right? Around common analytics between those two worlds that should make one, right? This is one thing. And the other thing is related to the distributed everything story that I told earlier, which relates to the edge computing side of things, right? Having, again, a common analytics throughout this entire chain. This is where both of us are strong, actually, with solutions like Li-Fi or Minify on your side with, Cloudera data flow, delivering real-time, data in motion, and also at rest for the batch side of things. This is really valuable for customers to deliver real-time analytics through our edge computing, but also deliver more, let's say, traditional advanced analytics and other use cases in the core platform. So having this entire world work together with one-touch provisioning, seamless, development environment, or even, deployment of machine learning at the edge for inference. This is something that I think we will see more and more.
Now, before we finish off, let's come to the last section. We call it On Diwali. I will throw a few words on you, and you just say the first thing which comes to your mind. Okay?
Okay.
So, priority.
Fun. Fun is a priority. So, if you don't have fun, then it's time to change jobs.
Completely with you. Winning.
Celebration. There is no small victory. No victory is small enough. It's too small, I would say, for a celebration. So that's really, if you win, you celebrate. Period.
Good. Trust.
Open. What I mean by that is, the safest door is the one that doesn't need to be closed, right? And this is the way it is. That's how I think. We have to be open, and when there is trust, there is no need of a closed door.
Yeah. Last one is with more sports.
Sports. I used to be really, really good playing soccer. I think you play tennis, right?
Now I'm playing golf.
Okay. So it's going to be, you're going to beat me, I think. Sports, I like it, but unfortunately, my knee is trying to hurt. And so I like to watch sports. And I was with my son, actually. That was last week at the Rolex Masters in Paris. Watching Djokovic and Monfils, and it was absolutely great.
Yeah, that's good. So with that, I really want to thank you very much for the conversation and taking part at the spotlight. I really appreciate, and I'm looking very much forward to continue working with you and your team. As I know, there are lots of opportunities we still have. We nearly have a call every week and learning every week more and getting together much better. So very much looking forward to continue working with you, Clement.
Same, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.